Hey everybody, how you doing? Um, Gonna talk about another comic book documentary, and I just talked about one before this called Lost Heroes, which is based on Canadian superheroes and Canadian artists. So check that episode out. But we're gonna talk about another one, and this is from this documentary called Dave Stevens, Drawn to Perfection. And what's so cool about this? This is about this young guy who's a fan of 1930s style artwork and how he makes it his own. So, as being an older dude that was not from around this era myself, but I'm always fascinated by the old school stuff and vintage art. So, see Dave Stevens represent that is so awesome. And I remember seeing his work before, but I didn't never knew the artist behind it. So, it's good to know. But you might know him more from drawing the Rocketeer comic book, which of course later on will become a live action movie, which they talk about in this documentary. But they talk about his style of art, which is like more realistic and more like beauty when it comes to women, how he draws women, how he's a fan of Bettie Page, which I'm also a fan of, which is what's another thing cool about this documentary too, that he actually met Bettie Page. When he found her, that he's a fan of her work. He helped out with chores, and he did things to help the real Bettie Page out, of course. And I'm like, God, this document is so much. That's even double awesomeness, you know. There's a comic book artist who's into the old school art form, who's good at drawing it and inking it, and how he inspires other people. You get interviews with people that know him, people that's like inspired by his work, and I highly recommend it, especially when you get the Betty Page part of it. That's an extra bonus to it to me. Check out this documentary. I highly recommend this one, which you can find out on Tubi. You can find it on Tubi TV, by the way.